Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will be learning about urine formation. This will be the part 1 of the video. I'll be making another sequence of urine formation. I'll be uploading the handwritten notes on both of Instagram as well as Facebook page. Without wasting much time, let's start. Urine formation. So basically 1 to 1.5 liters of urine is formed every day. Now in the formation of urine, we are going to learn it step by step. That is, there are 3 steps or processes. First is the glomerular filtration, there is tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. But in this video, we are going to study only about glomerular filtration. The remaining 2 we'll see it in the next part. First, the glomerular filtration. Here you can see there is Bowman's capsule, the nephron, the efferent and efferent arteriole. Now, in the place where filtration takes place is the glomerulus. It filtrates the blood. Now, all substances of plasma are filtered except plasma proteins. Now, as we know in blood, there are many different types of cells, plasma and all. Only plasma proteins are not filtrated. And now the fluid which is filtered out, it is called as glomerular filtrate. So the fluid is known as glomerular filtrate. Now filtration is done when there is kind of a layer through which the filtration occurs. There are these 3 layers through which the filtered blood or filtration occurs. The first one is the endothelium of the glomerular capillary membrane. As the blood is in capillary, the name itself suggests that it has to pass through the capillary membrane. Whereas the second one is the basement membrane and the third one is the epithelium of the visceral layer of Bowman's capsule. It should pass through the capillary membrane, through the basement membrane and then to the Bowman's capsule. So once the blood crosses all these layers, it is known to be filtered. As you can see, it has to pass through all the 3 layers. Now, the reason why plasma proteins are not filtered is because because of their size, they have large molecular size. So the basic reason here is due to the large size, plasma proteins cannot be filtered in the glomerulus. Now before proceeding, we need to understand some of the terminologies. Here it is very important, please pay attention. It is glomerular filtration rate, that is also known as GFR. Now it is the total quantity of filtrate formed in all the nephrons of both kidney in given unit of time. Now here you need to understand that filtrate is nothing but the filtered fluid. Now total quantity of this filtrate which is formed in the nephrons of both the kidneys in some given time, that is the GFR. Now in normal it is 125 ml per minute or also 180 liters per day. So this is very important, you need to remember this, that is glomerular filtration rate. Another thing is filtration fraction. Now it is ratio between renal plasma flow and glomerular filtration rate. Now this actually helps us in knowing the fraction of blood which is filtered. It is GFR upon renal plasma flow into 100. So normal filtration fraction is 15 to 20%. Now we understood the GFR. Now what are the pressures we see in this glomerular filtration rate and what do they play a role? We will understand now. The pressures which determine GFR are as such: glomerular capillary pressure. Here the name itself suggests that it is the pressure of blood on the capillaries. So I hope you understand, the pressure of blood on capillaries is and as the capillaries are present in glomerulus, so it is glomerular capillary pressure. Now here it is around 60 mm of Hg. It may also vary between 45 to 70, but it is mostly 60 mm of Hg. And However, this pressure it favors the glomerular filtration rate. Next we come to the colloidal osmotic pressure. This the name itself present it has something to do with the colloidal particles in blood. Those are the plasma proteins. So here colloidal osmotic pressure is the pressure exerted by plasma proteins in the glomeruli. Now here the plasma proteins are not filtered through the glomerulus capillaries and they remain in the glomerular capillaries. Now these proteins develop this osmotic or colloidal osmotic pressure which is 25 mm of Hg. As you can see, GFR is in action, or it supports the it's in favor of GFR, whereas colloidal osmotic pressure is not in favor of GFR. The third one is the hydrostatic pressure on Bowman's capsule. Now this it is presence of the pressure exerted by the filtrate on the Bowman's capsule. Now it is also called the capsular pressure, and it is about 15 mm of Hg, and it also opposes glomerular filtration rate. There are some factors regulating the GFR or affecting the GFR. The first one would be the tubulo-glomerular feedback. Now basically what happens here is whenever there is increased glomerular filtration rate, there will be increase in sodium concentration in tubular fluid. This will cause stimulation of macula densa. Macula densa mainly acts here as a detector. It detects it and it will lead to secretion of thromboxane A2. Now macula densa secretes thromboxane A2 which will lead to the contraction of the glomerular cells. Now when there is contraction of glomerular cells, then obviously there will be constriction of the efferent arteriole, and if there is constriction, then there is decreased blood flow, and if there is decreased blood flow, then automatically there will be decrease in glomerular filtration rate. The second is the glomerular capillary pressure. As we had studied it earlier, it is caused by glomerular capillary pressure which is in favor, so it is directly proportional. Whereas the colloidal and hydrostatic pressure, those oppose the GFR. So those are inversely proportional to the GFR. So I hope you understand, you're getting what I'm saying. The next factor which affects is the renal blood flow. Now as we studied earlier, if there is decreased renal blood flow, then GFR decreases. If there is increased renal blood flow, it will increase. So it is directly proportional. Constriction of arteries, obviously if there is constriction, it reduces the blood flow which will reduce the GFR. Then the systemic arterial pressure. Now it is responsible for the flow of blood through various organs including kidneys. However, if there is increase of mean arterial blood, it does not affect or alter the GFR due to the autoregulatory mechanism. Whereas in the hormonal factors, there are many hormones which affect the GFR by, like, there are some hormones which increase and some which decrease. So the factors increasing the GFR are as follows. The dopamine increases GFR, prostaglandin increases, there is cyclin AMP increases, and the factors which decrease GFR are angiotensinogen 2, noradrenaline, and platelet activating factor, and many such. Tubular reabsorption will be taken in next part. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe, share and like the video.